Do you ever feel that you are thinking about everything all at once? Perhaps you replay conversations in your mind long after they have ended, searching for hidden meanings, subtle cues you might have missed. You might notice the slightest shift in a friend's tone of voice, the faint scent of rain on the pavement, the way the afternoon light changes the color of a room. If this experience of the world feels deeply familiar to you, then you may be what researchers like myself have come to call a highly sensitive person, or HSP. This is not a flaw or a disorder to be fixed. It is a normal, innate temperament trait found in a significant portion of the population. It simply means your nervous system is finely tuned to perceive and process the world with extraordinary depth and nuance. For those who are highly sensitive, deep thinking is not an occasional activity, but a constant state of being. Your mind is like a rich, fertile garden. Every seed of information, every observation, every feeling, every idea is given the space to grow, unfurl, and connect with everything else. To truly understand the highly sensitive person, we must look beyond labels and into the fascinating workings of the brain and nervous system. Being highly sensitive is not about being emotionally fragile or easily hurt. It is a biological trait formerly known as sensory processing sensitivity, SPS. Think of it as having a nervous system with a finer, more delicate filter than most. While others might move through the world with a standard definition lens, you are experiencing life in high definition. Your brain registers more information from your environment, the subtle sounds in a quiet room, the complex flavors in a meal, the unspoken emotions on a person's face, and it processes all of this data with incredible thoroughness. This heightened awareness is rooted in how your brain is structured and how it functions. Research, including brain imaging studies, has shown that highly sensitive people exhibit more activity in regions associated with empathy, awareness, and the integration of sensory information. For instance, the insula, an area believed to be the seat of consciousness and emotional awareness, shows a more robust response in HSPs. This means that in a new environment or an emotional situation, your brain is working harder to make sense of every detail. It is not that you are imagining things, you are genuinely perceiving more, and your brain is dedicated to processing it all. This is a fundamental physiological difference. A moderately noisy restaurant can feel like a chaotic assault on the senses because your brain is trying to process every conversation, every clatter of silverware, the background music, all at once. A sad movie can feel personally devastating because your mirror neurons are exceptionally active, causing you to feel others' experiences as if they were your own. Understanding that sensitivity is a normal, neutral trait, like having blue eyes or being left-handed, is the first and most crucial step towards self-acceptance. The tendency for highly sensitive people to think so deeply is a direct consequence of their finely tuned neurobiology. It is not a habit you can simply switch off, but the natural output of a brain wired for profound processing. One primary reason: your brain's meticulous attention to detail. Where others see a forest, you see individual leaves, the texture of the bark on each tree, the specific way the light filters through the canopy, the subtle movements of insects on the forest floor. Your mind gathers these rich sensory details, and deep thought is required to organize, categorize, and find meaning. Your brain asks, what does this all mean? How does it all connect? Another key factor: heightened emotional responsiveness. For an HSP, experiences are deeply felt, not merely noted. A simple compliment can bring joy you ponder for hours, while a minor criticism can trigger long self-reflection. Emotions are potent. They command cognitive resources. Your mind works to understand the source, process the implications, and integrate the experience into your sense of self and the world. Sensitive minds drive to process thoroughly before acting. This pausing to check strategy is a hallmark. You're less likely to be impulsive because you consider angles, outcomes, and consequences. You might rehearse a difficult conversation, weigh pros and cons extensively, or reflect on past events to learn. This enables careful, conscientious choices, and it also keeps your mind active, churning for safety and optimal outcomes. The very same trait that fuels your deep thinking also creates a duality of experience, significant strengths and notable challenges. On one hand, your capacity for deep processing is the source of incredible gifts. You often become a highly effective problem solver, capable of seeing subtle patterns and connections that others miss. You can anticipate future needs and potential obstacles with uncanny accuracy, making you a valuable strategist. Your mind weaves disparate threads: art, writing, innovation, finding unique solutions to everyday challenges. You savor beauty, get lost in stories, feel awe, bringing richness to life. Combined with empathy, you are an exceptionally compassionate and conscientious friend, partner, and colleague. You listen fully, offer thoughtful advice, and remember details that make others feel seen. However, the flip side involves real struggles. Constant mental activity can be exhausting. Overstimulation, cognitive fatigue. Your mind can feel like a browser with too many tabs open, leading to burnout and difficulty concentrating. Considering all possible outcomes can become worry, what-ifs, replaying mistakes, agonizing over decisions. A fast, loud world not designed for sensitivity can leave you drained, misunderstood, and inadequate. A harsh inner critic may call you too slow, too emotional, too complicated, leading to withdrawal or avoidance. Acknowledge both the strengths and the difficulties with self-compassion. Living well as a highly sensitive person is not about becoming less sensitive, but honoring your trait and managing its intensity. Create a lifestyle that works with your nervous system, not against it. Schedule regular downtime. This is not indulgence, it's biological necessity. 10 minutes of quiet, a short walk in nature, listening to calming music. Small resets prevent overwhelm. Set gentle, firm boundaries. Because you feel others' needs keenly, it's easy to overextend. Start small, decline when drained, ask for an hour of quiet. Communicate needs simply: "I'd love to help, but I don't have the capacity for that right now." Protecting your energy lets you show up fully for what matters. Develop strategies for cognitive overload. Externalize thoughts by writing. Designate 15 minutes for worry, then close the book for the day. Move your body to settle a busy mind. Channel deep thinking into meaningful projects: gardening, painting, organizing, planning. Use empathy to help others, and you transform sensitivity into purpose, accomplishment, and joy. Let me share a story that shows this trait in action. Consider Anna, a registered nurse on a busy surgical ward. She appears calm, but her sensitive nervous system takes in a constant stream of information. A patient's subtle wince, a family's nervous fidget, a too loud monitor down the hall. Early on, this left her depleted. She replayed interactions, worried she'd missed something, carried the weight of pain and fear, and felt frayed by chaos. Learning about high sensitivity, Anna reframed her experience. She saw meticulous attention not as anxiety, but as clinical asset, anticipating needs before patients asked. Her deep thinking calmed families. Sensitivity to environment improved rest by dimming lights and adjusting monitors. Her strength lived in nuances. She took breaks in quiet spaces, left work at work with calming drives, and prioritized restorative days off. By honoring her trait, Anna turned sensitivity into professional strength, the nurse who noticed everything, providing compassionate, perceptive care. If you recognize yourself here, hear this clearly. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken, you are not weak, you do not need to be fixed. The world may have called deep feeling and thinking flaws, but they are hallmarks of a remarkable way of being. Your brain is a finely tuned instrument, perceiving with depth, richness, and clarity. A quiet superpower. Be your own advocate and caregiver. Begin with radical self-acceptance. Let go of the idea you must be tougher or less emotional. Honor your need for rest, quiet, and time to process. Set boundaries with kindness and confidence so your gifts flourish. Manage overstimulation, calm your mind, and create space to thrive. Reframe. See thoughtfulness, not slowness, the source of empathy, not weakness. Notice subtleties, connect deeply, appreciate beauty. Think through consequences. These strengths make you a thoughtful leader, a creative innovator, a loyal friend, a conscientious steward. Be proud. Care for your precious nervous system. Do not hide your depth or apologize for your feelings. Use your quiet power with wisdom, and know you are exactly as you are meant to be.